Here is the JD800, and just want to show you a couple of things. First, all the systems has the piano card module add-on, which I'm not sure if that's came with it or not, but it's one of the options. I also have upgraded the two-prong thing to an IEC standard grounded three-prong plug so that it is safer. So if we boot it up, we'll see that everything is functioning. I will run through the self-test, go through all the pieces so that we can see that it all works. So the internal versus external. So we can see the internal. Working on the premise that somebody out there has all the sounds for the stock internal stuff already listed. So I'll look for a YouTube video and put that in the comments. The system had a problem with the red glue, which is a Roland issue from the 80s, where they used the red epoxy type glue, and when it got wet and hot and whatever, it dripped out. So this keyboard was originally owned by a guy who basically just had it at home for his weekend enjoyment, never toured it, he never played with it anywhere, just noodled around on it, occasionally a weekend warrior on guitar, but nothing, this was never toured, never worked. So it had the red glue problem and the keys wouldn't work. So I took it all apart and soaked it in the caustic soda and, overnight and cleaned them up. Took a couple of days to do all that and re-glued the metal weights in with proper epoxy. The other issue that was at play was some of the MIDI contacts were dirty, dusty, whatever, and I replaced the rubber contact MIDI strips that are here. And then the other thing that was quite common with these keyboards was the problem with where the ribbon cable goes to a join and another ribbon cable, and then it goes to the brain. So the MIDI signal comes out of that, and it would often not be functioning well. So there's an aftermarket board that I bought from a guy, it was Glenn in the UK. He had a great aftermarket build for fixing this problem, and that's been done, and I'll put a link about that as well. So it's been all rebuilt. The one thing I didn't get to that I kind of wished I had was the aftertouch, so that the sensitivity was a little more. You can put in a resistor or whatever at some point on the circuit board and increase the sensitivity so that it's a little easier to play the aftertouch function. You can hear it, the vibrato kicks in when I aftertouch. Now, and the card works. Let's go to some of the card sounds. aftertouch. So everything works, and I will run through the self-test and put it on high speed so that you can see that it all works. And this is the unit. So if you're interested, reach out. You can email me. Okay, there you go. Button, exit, push button, exit. Okay. Internal card off, on. Off, on, off, on, off, on. Well, we know all these work. You can see it flashing between off and on. Right, off, on, off, on, off, on. So these all work. Let's see if these all work. Yeah. Yeah. I know we can get into that area too. Output test. Select channel with cursor. Good. Mod wheel works. Aftertouch. Yeah, it's. I don't have pedals plugged in. Oh, there we go. I think we'll call that square. Yes, exit.
Maybe I'm just another Superman standing on the top of the world looking down. I don't wanna fall when the fear gets too much. I don't wanna crash into the waiting crowds. Tired of facing the same old situations, gotta save them in the nick of time. I want a day, give me some space. I wanna sleep straight through the night. If I had a simple life, I'd sit and celebrate, and in the quiet I would close my eyes and drift away. I'd take my time in the sun, I would always be young if I could taste a simple life. I'm sick of chasing those higher expectations, but I never reach the finish line. I'd settle for less if the rest of the world would see that no one makes it out alive. But if I had a simple life, sit and celebrate, and in the quiet I would close my eyes and drift away. I'd take my time in the sun, I would always be young if I could taste. If I could just take off this cape and give myself a break, take my time and save the world another day. But I don't, and I won't, no I don't. But if I had a simple life, I'd sit and celebrate, and in the quiet I would close my eyes and drift away. I'd take my time in the sun, I would always be young if I could taste. And if I had a simple life, I'd sit and celebrate, and in the quiet I would close my eyes and drift away. I'd take my time in the sun, I would always be young if I could taste. Young if I could taste. Young if I could taste. A simple life